I was introduced to the late Dr. Wernher von Braun, in the U.S., the father of rocketry. In my first meeting with him, during that first 3.5 hours, he said to me, "Carol, you will stop the weaponization of space. And we have to prevent the weaponization of space because there is a lie being told to everyone. There are many enemies," he said, "against whom we're going to build this space-based weapon system, the first of whom was the Russians, which was existing at that time. Then there would be terrorists. Then there would be third world countries. Now we call them rogue nations or nations of concern. Then there would be asteroids." And then he would repeat to me over and over, "And the last card, the last card, the last card would be the extraterrestrial threat."
Space. Going to be a lot of things happening in space. Because space is the world's newest warfighting domain. Amid grave threats to our national security, American superiority in space is absolutely vital. The Space Force will help us deter aggression and control the ultimate high ground.
불과 몇 년 전만 하더라도 외계인의 존재를 인정하는 사람은 음모론자 취급을 받았습니다. 그래서 미확인 비행물체를 보았다고 주장하는 사람들은 조롱을 당하고 심지어 직장에서 해고를 당하기도 했습니다. 많은 군인들과 항공사 파일럿들은 미확인 비행물체를 본 경험이 있지만 이상한 사람으로 낙인이 찍히거나 불이익을 받는 것이 두려워서 침묵을 지켰습니다. 하지만 어찌된 이유에서인지 이젠 미국 정부와 미 항공우주국, 심지어 국방부까지 외계인이 존재한다는 증거를 제시하기 시작했습니다. 우리가 외계인이라고 지칭하는 존재가 어디에서 왔는지는 아직 알 수 없습니다. 그들이 다른 행성에서 왔다는 주장도 있고 그들이 다른 차원에서 온 존재라는 주장도 있습니다. 심지어 외계인이 악마라고 주장하는 사람들도 있습니다. 외계인이 어떤 존재이건 간에 한 가지는 확실합니다. 외계인이 존재한다면 인류는 외계인의 위협을 막기 위해 뭉칠 것이고 세계경제포럼은 이를 명분 삼아 지구 단일 정부를 구성하는 것이 가능해집니다.
If suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species from another planet outside in the universe, we'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together.
며칠 전에도 미 항공우주국의 주관으로 외계 생명체와 UFO에 대한 회의가 열렸습니다. 오늘은 미군 내부에서 외계인의 존재에 대한 폭로가 있었습니다.
You are one of the most trusted former intelligence officials in the US defense and intelligence establishment.
Yes, I was.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets.
Yes.
What conclusion did you come to at the end of your time on the UAP task force?
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No. I thought it was totally nuts, and I thought at first I was being deceived. It was a ruse. People started confiding in me. They approached me. I have plenty of current and former senior intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career, that confided in me they were a part of a program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And they told me, based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof.
Grush alleges the U.S. government has recovered non-human craft for decades. He's filed a whistleblower complaint saying he gave what he calls the classified proof to Congress and the Intelligence Community Inspector General.
If you're telling us the truth, everyone the entire American public has been lied to for decades.
Yeah, there's a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone, yeah.
Do we have bodies? Do we have species of
Well,
non-human?
naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
He has the credentials, but there's no documents that he's handed over. There's no pictures. And as a journalist, you want to see documents, you want to see pictures. Does that raise a red flag?
Not at all, Brian. I mean, you mean documents that actually describe the craft?
Correct, yeah, like government documents, or to be able to see it for ourselves.
Of course, don't we all want that? And the problem with that is all of that information is classified. You know, as we said in the story, everything that Grush told Congress and told the Inspector General of both the IC, the Intelligence Community Inspector General, and the Department of Defense Inspector General, all of that information is classified.
In 2017, Kane reported exclusively in the New York Times that the Pentagon had a secret UFO program. 3 years later, the Pentagon confirmed her story. Her latest report is even more explosive, but Kane says she has multiple sources who back up Grush's story.
I believe it because of all the sources I have who have told me the same thing. So who am I to doubt these very, very high-level people who have been inside these programs for decades, have done their work, and are all telling me the same thing? I mean, I don't think there's some kind of conspiracy among all these people who don't know each other to make something like this up.
So I've got to be blunt about this. Yeah. You're not making this up. This is not a lie.
No, absolutely not.
Because everybody watching this right now is looking at your face. They're going, is this guy for real?
I am for real. And I'm sitting here at great personal risk and obvious professional risk by talking to you today.
Now the ball's up, Johnny. What's the matter with you?
And just within the last 10 minutes or so, the Pentagon has released a statement to News Nation about this report. They say to date, AARO has not discovered any verifiable information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession or reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently. Elizabeth, we know that David Grush, he's filed that whistleblower complaint. He's been on the record under oath, testifying to many of these things that he said in our report tonight. And think about it, Elizabeth, if you go back 15 or 20 years, if we were sitting here talking about UFOs, people would think that we were nutty. Now it's gotten to the level of where it is somewhat accepted because the government has come forward to a certain extent.
이런 소식들이 황당하다고 생각하시는 분들도 많겠지만 한 가지는 확실합니다. 우리는 죽기 전에 외계인과 인류의 충돌을 목격하는 세대가 될 것이라는 점입니다. 세계경제포럼과 빌 게이츠가 준비하고 있는 다양한 재난들과 이벤트들을 고려해보면 바이러스나 사이버 공격보다는 외계인 침공이 훨씬 흥미진진할 것으로 생각합니다.
외계인들이 침공해서 세계경제포럼 멤버들을 처단해준다면 외계인 침공도 그리 나쁘진 않을 것 같습니다.
So I've got to be blunt about this. You're not making this up. This is not a lie.
No, absolutely not.
Because everybody watching this right now is looking at your face. They're going, is this guy for real?
I am for real. And I'm sitting here at great personal risk and obvious professional risk by talking to you today.
시청해주셔서 감사합니다.